Good morning and welcome to the Rubber Room. It's me, Chris Colley, and it is 10 o'clock on Thursday morning, and that means it's time for Craft Along with Chris. And I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Rochester Hills, Michigan, and I come to you once a month and do a little craft along. You can order your kit ahead of time so that you can craft along with me, or you can order it after the craft along is over. So you can go ahead and make them and use this craft along video as your guide. Today we are going to be using the Sketched Butterflies stamp set and coordinating dies. So this is a bundle. So you have these beautiful, beautiful butterflies. I don't know about you guys, but I have been loving my butterfly bush this year. It is just attracting all sorts of butterflies, which I love. And along with your images, you have some sentiments, which are absolutely beautiful. Wishing you a beautiful birthday, a thank you, a thinking of you. You brighten so many of my days, and hope is a beautiful thing that flutters in the soul. I love that one. That one might be my favorite sentiment. And then it has these coordinating dies, and it is a red rubber stamp set. And along with this stamp set, we're going to be using some sentiments from the Grateful Blessings. If you guys haven't gotten this stamp set yet, it is an absolute must. I use this one a lot. It has sentiments that are large enough that you can make them the focal point of your card if you wanted to. Okay, so if you got your kit ahead of time, this is what it's going to look like. And you're going to just pull out from your Petunia Pop on top. So that's going to be our first card that we're going to do. And we'll set the other ones aside for now. You have this piece of paper, or piece of ribbon, which is our Summer Splash ribbon, and it has been cut in half. So your ribbon comes like this, and your kit is going to have a longer piece that's just cut in half like this. And we are going to be tying that into a bow around your other piece, okay? And you're also going to have these pieces. This one is the one we're going to stamp our sentiment on. This one we're going to stamp our butterfly on. And then you have some of the 2004-2026 glimmer gems. So I've cut out 3 of them. They come in all 5 of the in colors, and there is a large and a small of those accessories. And then you're going to have this small little packet, which is going to be a flap on the front of our card. This is going to go on the inside of it, and then this piece on the outside. And then you're going to have your card base, and it's going to be scored. It is at 4 1/4 by 11, and it is scored at 2 1/2 and 5 1/2 and 2 1/4, 5 1/2 and 2 1/4. Okay, and then you're going to have these pieces of designer series paper, and you're going to have 3 of those in there. And we're going to actually start with our sentiment and our butterfly. So we're going to leave those 2 packets alone. This one's going to be our butterfly for this one. And this one's going to be our sentiment. And we're going to stamp our sentiment in Summer Splash ink. And if you did get a kit, you got a list of ink pads that you would need, stamp sets that you would need, etc. So hopefully you got all of those things ahead of time and can just craft right along with me. So again, I inked my sentiment, which is from Grateful Blessings, in Summer Splash and then stamped it on my die cut circle. And my die cut circle is from Stitched So Sweetly, I believe is the name of that one. And I'm going to color my butterfly with blends. So I'm going to be stamping it in Memento. It's the Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. And I'm just going to quickly stamp that and not, making a big deal out of where it goes on my little piece of paper because I am going to die cut that. And I'm going to be using my light Petunia Pop and my light Summer Splash blends to color my little butterfly here. Giving my blend a good shake so I get all that alcohol mixed in there with the ink. You have a brush tip and a nib tip. I almost always color with my nib tip and use my brush tip for things like flicking. And this is just a quick color. And you can add as much color or as little color as you want, but I'm just going to give it a quick color. And again, using the nib tip and the light one. You can bring in the dark and add some shading to it if you wanted to. I'm just going to keep it very simple. Give this one a good shake also, and again, use my nib tip. And then we're just going to die cut it. This stamp set comes in a bundle, and when you purchase the bundle, you can save 10%, and which is a great deal. But the dies that coordinate with it they make it the process very, very simple and easy. You can fussy cut them if you wanted to, but I am going to use these coordinating dies and my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm just going to bring that in here, and I'm going to take my base plate and then a number 2 plate. I need to switch these plates out. They're getting kind of bent there. And then I'm going to take my die, and I'm just going to put my die right on my butterfly, and then bring in some Post-it tape. This Post-it tape is like my #1 go-to must-have for die cutting. It allows me to just center my image right inside my die and then just hold it there with that little Post-it tape. So I have my base plate, a #2 plate, and I'm going to put another #2 plate right on top of it and put those through. Now when you're doing this, you want to have a little bit of a beveled edge going through your machine. And I just put my hand on the top of it to give it a little more stability as it's going through the machine. Okay, I'll just set that over here for now. And I'm going to save this little piece of Post-it tape because I can use it again. You can use them over and over. Okay, so there we have all of our pieces that we're going to need. So I'm going to start with our card base. And again, it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. So I'm going to fold right on that middle line, middle score, and burnish it, and then fold back from the edge of my card back. This is a fun fold that I really, really like. We used it at our team meeting this month. We have such beautiful designer series paper that this is a really great fold to kind of show off and highlight that paper. And you can use any side of this paper that you want, but I want all of it to kind of coordinate all the way through. So I'm going to use this one, the same flower pattern all the way. So this piece is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then these 2 pieces are Let me see, is that right? Yeah, they're 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. So I'm just going to put this one here. And I'm not going to worry so much about the patterns matching up this way or this way, because we are going to fold this card. So it's not going to matter too much. And I'm going to leave just like a little 1/16 of an inch all the way around. And I'm just using my regular Stampin' Seal. You can use your glue if you're a glue person. I'm sure you have some kind of favorite adhesive that you like to use. So whatever that is, use that. I am a Stampin' Seal gal, so that's what I use. So this is going to be your card base. Isn't it pretty? I love how it opens like that. And then we have this smaller piece, which is going to come in and go like that. Okay? So I'm going to do the inside first. And I've just cut a little piece of Coordinating Designer Series paper to fit right on top of my basic white piece. And this is going to go inside. And again, I'm just going to coordinate them all with that little 1/16 of an edge around the outside. I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this. And we're going to put it right in the center of our card. So I'm just going to open my card up and center this. There we go. So that's going to be the inside of our card. Looks like it might be a little bit crooked. Oh, no, it's good. So it's going to open and close like that. And then you're going to take your full piece of ribbon. And we're going to put some glue dots on both ends. If you have your kit, I hope that you are enjoying following along with me, crafting with me. Crafting is one of those things that's always more fun when you're doing it with a friend. I actually have friends coming over this afternoon, and we're going to do some crafting together, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm just going to put this on my piece of Designer Series paper and around the back, and those glue dots are going to hold it. This is the Unbounded Love pack of Designer Series paper, which you can find in our annual catalog. If you did order a kit, you got just your pieces cut for you. You don't get a whole pack of paper. Actually, what comes in your kit is just what you're going to need to do these cards with me. And it's all cut and prepped. Your kit will look exactly like the pieces I am pulling out today. Okay, now I'm going to take my sentiment, which says "You're such a blessing," and I'm just going to put adhesive all the way around it. And I'm going to center that because I'm going to put a little bow here and my butterfly over here. Now I'm going to take my butterfly, who's kind of, he's sort of flat. She's sort of flat, I'm not sure. So I'm going to take my bone folder and just put it behind the wing and give it a little curl. So you can see that's just going to curl it up a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of put my little body flat there. I'm going to put some adhesive on the body and put it right in here by my sentiment. So it's going to look like that. And then I'm going to take this half strip of ribbon, and it's okay if this starts to unravel on you or fray on you. That's okay. It's going to. That's just the kind of nature of the beast with this one. gonna tie a knot, a nice tight little knot there. And then I'm gonna do some bunny ears. So I have 2 loops with my ribbon. I'm gonna take the left one, put it over the right, push it down, and bring it up through the hole in the middle. That is actually how I learned to tie my shoes, with little bunny ears. And if you have a special way that you do your bows that works for you, by all means, do it that way. Bunny ears don't always work for everybody. Everybody has a different easy way of doing things, so do what works for you and what leaves your crafting feeling comfortable and fun. We want a fun crafting experience. Now I'm just going to kind of pull some of these strands out. And just a few. I just want it to look kind of a little shabby maybe. Okay? And they're going to be different lengths depending on how straight you cut your ribbon when you start it. My ribbon was cut in half and it got a little straight and then a little wonky, so it wasn't like a perfect in half cut on it. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our little dots. Okay, and we have 3 of them. I'm actually going to go with a big one kind of up here and over in here, and then I'm going to put a little one up here by my butterfly. Let's get those wings kind of curled up, and I want it just kind of right at the edge of the ribbon and his wing there. Okay, so there we have it, you guys. Isn't that pretty? I just think that turned out so cute. And then you have your designer series paper on the inside to sort of tie it together. All right, so that's our first one. The next one is going to be with this gorgeous grape paper. So you're going to take your gorgeous grape and just pull it right out there. And let's see what we have for this one. We have these gorgeous iridescent dots. I seem to have 2 packs in here instead of 1, so I'll set that one aside. And then you have your card base. This is the inside of your card. Little designer series paper for the inside of it. And then we have your card front. And then you're going to have this small piece that's been embossed by the Weathered Brick embossing folder to give it some texture. And then we have this piece, which we're going to stamp 3 butterflies on. And this piece is a sentiment that's going to go on the inside of your card. Okay, so we're going to take our card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, score the 8.5 side at 4 1/4. We're going to fold and burnish on that score line. We're going to take this piece of very vanilla cardstock and our little piece of designer series paper, and we're going to put that paper right at the bottom. I like to leave just a little teensy trim at the bottom so it kind of makes it pop up a little bit more, I think. And then again, I'm going to put some adhesive on my 4 corners and kind of in the middle there. And then this is going to go right in the middle of your card. And it is 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so that's the inside. And then these 3 pieces, we are going to layer on the outside. So I am going to actually start with my embossed piece. And again, it's going to get adhesive all the way around because I want to get adhesive in all those little nooks and crannies that were created by the embossing folder. I'm going to put it right in the center. And then I'm just going to add my adhesive here. And again, you can use any side of this paper that you want. That would be really, those butterflies would be really pretty on this side of the paper too. So you can do any side that you want. That is just a personal preference. Let's get this on there. Nice and straight. Here we go. And then we're going to put it on our card front. How about that? So far, so good. I hope if you're crafting along with me, I'm not going too fast for you. I actually will take a minute and pop on here and see if anybody has any questions before we keep going. It looks like everybody's good. I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna keep going here. I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the inside, and I'm gonna use some Gorgeous Grape, and we're gonna do some watercoloring. So I'm gonna stamp my images, the little butterfly image, in StazOn ink. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this little long strip in here. And your StazOn always has this kind of black plastic cover that you want to be sure you take off. And then you get that really nice maraschino cherry smell. And I'm just gonna stamp all three of these, leaving a little bit of a space in between them. And that's going to allow me to get my die in there without crowding or cutting the next die or the next image. Okay, and I'm going to clean this one really quick. The StazOn ink tends to stain your stamps a little bit, so I always like to get it off as soon as I can. And that keeps my stamps nice and clean. Okay, and I have some Gorgeous Grape ink. If you are new to stamping, our ink pads have this little groove here, and they open like a compact, so you're just going to put your thumb there and lift up, and then flip it over and back. And this is going to be, and you don't have to use this extra piece. You can stamp this sentiment right on the inside of your card if you want to, but I am going to use this piece. Looks like it got a little bit wonky color-wise, lighter in one spot and darker in another, so I'm going to try that again. There we go. And that's the beauty of our paper, right? You can use the front or the back. And then I'm just going to take a black. I'm going to use this one that had my butterfly on it. And I'm going to put, maybe I am. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. That one was really sticking. And I'm going to take my re-inker, and I'm just going to put a little dab of my ink right in the middle. Now you don't need much. I just have one little drop here. I might need more than one drop. I'm going to put 2 drops in there. And I'm going to bring in my aqua painter. Your aqua painters come in a set, and there are 3 different ones, and they all have a different tip. One of them is really pointy, one of them is a real wide brush, so I'm going to use the medium kind of tip, and I'm just going to give it a little squeeze and get some water on my hand there, okay? And then I'm just going to move that ink around, and you can see how easily it moves. And I'm going to start with the really light color and work my way out to a darker color at the edges. So I'm just going to kind of start right in the middle with a little bit of that light, gorgeous grape. And then I'm going to go darker by just grabbing a little bit more ink. And I'm going to put that around the edges. Now, all three of these butterflies are going to be a little bit different in color, just like they are in real life. And that's going to be dependent on how much water we use when we're watercoloring the image. So our first butterfly we colored with Stampin' Blends. This one we're going to use our aqua painter on. And the next one we're going to use our aqua painter with an ink pad as opposed to our re-inker. So you can just keep squirting your water on there. Just keep pushing your water out and grabbing your ink. And until you've got all three of them colored. And this is, again, one of those processes that coloring is very, very relaxing for me. And I like to watercolor. So this is one of those things that's really a fun way for me to color and add color to my images. And you can kind of take it away just by adding a little more water to your image. Okay, so I have a little bit of a it's a folded up paper towel. I don't know what there probably is some kind of technical term for it, but I'm just going to squeeze my water on there and just kind of smooth this in all the way around. Oops. Here we go. All right. And I'm just going to just clean this off just like that. Okay. And you're going to bring our little machine back in, and we're going to do some passes through there with our little butterflies. I hope you guys got to take advantage of the free shipping yesterday. I stacked up on some stuff. I ordered some new stuff. We got to, if you're a demonstrator, you got to see the new mini catalog online. So I got to stack up on some papers, some cardstock that would go with the papers that were in the new catalog, and some things like that that I knew I would want to have. And when I can get out of free shipping, that's just like an extra bonus. All right, we have two more here. And you can see again why that spacing is kind of important there, so that I'm not cutting off the top of this one while I'm trying to die cut that one. And I'm just kind of throwing caution to the wind here and not even using my Post-it tape on these. And the die cuts are, I love a good coordinating die cut. You can see how perfectly that cuts my little butterfly out. And one more. Yeah, and then we're done. I don't know about you guys, but it is a hot day here. The sun is finally shining. We've had some days of a lot of rain and wind, and had some trees down and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm happy to see the sunshine today. I did not get my... There we go. You do have to bevel that, or it gets a little tough to get it through there. And sometimes I don't get it beveled enough. All right. So we have our 3 little butterflies. And I'm going to do the same thing with these butterflies that I did on my other card. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and just kind of put it so that they have a little bit of a roll to them. And you can see the nice little contrast where I got the light and the dark on the wings there with my little watercolor brush. So I'm going to do that with all 3. And after I do it, I'm just kind of pinching them up a little bit. And these I'm actually going to use a glue dot in the middle of, so that they can stick right on there. I lied. I'm going to use a little mini dimensional. So I'm going to put a little mini dimensional on each one of these, their body in the back. And these little mini dimensionals are just kind of like the perfect size to go behind there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start like right in the middle. And I'm going to put them in the middle of my white vanilla, very vanilla embossed piece. And then I'm going to kind of center it between that piece and the top, and then between that piece and the bottom. All right, and then we have these little iridescent gems, and I'm going to kind of go in, and these are all the same size. They're all small. So I'm going to go in and do one there, and then kind of one right at the bottom. All right, and then I want kind of a soft feel on the inside of my card. So I'm just going to take my sentiment and just kind of go with my scissors and just kind of distress it a little bit. And you can use your finger if you want to on there. I just have always used my snips for it. So I'm just going to rough it up a little bit and distress it. And I think that gives it kind of a softer, more kind of nourishing feel to it. And then that I'm going to put on the inside of my card. And again, you can stamp right on the inside of your card. You don't have to do this added little extra piece. But I think that's kind of... And you can go ahead and add another little butterfly in there if you wanted to. Just kind of dress it up, make it your own. So that's our second one. And then for our third one, we're going to be doing a monochromatic. Actually, both of my tutorial groups this month had a monochromatic theme. So this one I actually followed through with the same sort of design with the paper and the little butterfly, and then did the 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 and 2 inch pieces of designer series paper on it. So that was one that I used for one of my tutorials. So if you're a team member, you'll get that tutorial at the end of the beginning of August. And it's a really good group of tutorials, so I think you'll enjoy it. Just taking a peek to see if anybody has any questions. If you're watching, pop on and leave a comment and let me know where you're watching. Or if you have any questions, let me know that too. Okay, so this one is Petal Pink, one of my favorite colors. Your card base is 5.5 by 8.5. The 8.5 inch side is scored at 4 1/4. So we're just going to fold and burnish on that score line. And then in your card pack, we go from the bottom up. So this is going to be your 2 layers that are going to go right on your card front. This is the beautiful, I think it's beautiful zinnia paper. And it's an online exclusive that is just gorgeous. Can you see all that beautiful color in there? I think that is so pretty. And this is monochromatic, which means it's all in that same color or one color notch up to accentuate it. Okay? These 2 pieces are going to go on the, oh, I forgot to put that on there. All right, so this is going to be our card front. And again, just that small little edge all the way around. And for some reason, I'm doing a smaller little trim piece these days than I have before. Usually I do the 5 1/4 by 4, and I've started doing 5 3/4 or 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I don't know why, but I kind of like that a little bit better. Okay, so there, this piece is going to go inside our card. And I like to lay my pieces out before I start putting them together, so I'm sure I know where everything goes and kind of what it's gonna look like. So these 2 pieces are gonna layer on top of each other, and they're gonna go on the front of our card. And then this piece we're gonna stamp our butterfly on, and this piece we're gonna layer our sentiment on. And then we have these little dots. We actually had 2 different kinds of accessories for our In Colors this year. So these are going to be the, let's see, I think these are rainbow dots. So you have the petal pink, and it really does kind of look like a rainbow. Fresh freesia, pretty in pink, really a nice combination of colors in there. And I'm just going to stick with the pretty in pink, again, because that is our monochromatic color theme. We're going to be watercoloring our image, so that means I'm going to stamp in my StazOn ink. And because I have my StazOn out and open, I'm going to go ahead and add my sentiment in StazOn. But you can do it in your petal pink if you wanted to, or your tuxedo memento black if you want to. All right, and again, I'm going to quickly clean these 2 stamps so they don't get all stained up. I'm going to put my plastic back on my StazOn, and I do store this upside down just because that keeps the ink on the top of it. I store my tuxedo black ink the same way also. All right, so we have our memento, or our petal pink ink, and what I'm going to do is just squeeze it so my lid is being squeezed into the bottom. So the ink pad is actually being squeezed into the bottom, and my ink will pool there. And I'm going to bring back in my aqua painter. Just going to make sure it's nice and clean. And stir this ink around a little bit. And again, start right in the middle. And that's going to be my lightest part. And because I'm only using one color, it's not really going to matter how far I go or don't go with the color, because we're just going to kind of blend it in. So I'm not worried about like coloring one section really light or one section really dark. I'm just going to kind of do my body here and then get the darker ink and start in the outside edges with that darker ink. and then just kind of blend that in with the lighter ink and pull it all in there. I want a little bit darker. You get a lot of control when you're using your water brush on your lid. I like it this way better than with my ink, with just a dropper of my ink, but it is, again, totally your preference as to what you kind of want it to look like. So I want just really that kind of soft, natural looking feel to it. And we're going to be adding, I used the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and it has the crumb cake and black and gray and white and then a vanilla. And you get 5 of them. I just stuck an extra one in there just because that was the only one I had left in my other pack. So I'm going to pop up here one more time with my little mini machine. And my die. So you got a couple little, this was one of my favorite sets because I like to color. So I'm glad I got to share a couple little different coloring techniques. You can always use your marker to color. I use my blends, my watercolors, a couple different ways. So just find a way that is the easiest for you to color and that you enjoy. And I find it very relaxing. So whether I'm watercoloring or using my blends, it doesn't really matter. It's all relaxing for me. And I guess, like I said, you could use your watercolored pencils on this easily, and that would look great too. You can use your markers, lots of different, Stampin' Up! Offers a real variety of different ways to color your images. So, all right, so let's go ahead and we're going to, this die again came from the Essentials, Stitched Essentials, Sweet Essentials. I'm going to have to look and tell you. I should know that because I use them all the time. I think they're Stitched Essentials, but I, of course, don't have them here. I should, but okay, so then I'm going to put this down. I actually am going to use some of the edges from my dimensionals to pop this up on. Guys, if you're here watching, leave me a comment. Let me know if you like the craft along format. This is a new thing that I have started doing this summer, and this is, I think, my second or third month doing a craft along. So if you like it, let me know. If you don't, let me know. It's always kind of a shot in the dark as to what my customers or team members like and want to see. So if you want to give me a little heads up about what you enjoy, that would be great. And again, I'm just going to curl those edges a little bit and add, I think I'm going to add a little bit of a thicker body on this one because it's a bigger butterfly. And be sure you're using those edges to your dimensionals, you guys. Those are, there's a lot of them in there and a lot of space around your edges of your dimensionals, so don't let those go to waste. I'm going to put this little guy right here, and I'm going to attach my sentiment right in the middle, I think. And again, just with some dimensionals. And your craft along kit contained a bow made with some of that white Baker's Essential pack of twine. I'm just going to take a little glue dot and put my bow right here in this corner. apparently have it stuck to everything but the paper here. There. I got it. So I'm going to put some regular size dimensionals behind here. And I'm going to go at each end because the knot on that bow is going to be in the middle. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on like that. So I think I want it up a little bit more to cover some of those words. So I'm just going to move my bow up a little bit. And line it up like that. How fun is that, you guys? And then I am going to put my little dots on, and I'm kind of thinking about adding them right on here. And then one kind of down in here. There we go. Okay, I don't see any comments at all, but I do hope you guys are enjoying it. Oh, there's Debbie. What DSP, Debbie? This is the DSP from the Zinnia pack. This one is the Unbounded Love. They're all different. This one is the Painted Lavender. Okay, so they are all different. So you have Painted Lavender, Unbounded Love, and the beautiful Zinnia. Okay, so these are our 3 cards for the craft along. And this one opens like this. And again, you can add little butterflies on the inside if you want. And then we have this one. So lots of options for you. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Oh, you like the cards? I'm so glad, Debbie. Thanks. You guys enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful weekend. If you want this craft along kit, please leave a comment below. Thanks. Bye-bye.